Moving to the final classification of theories of aging, that is psychological theories of aging. So here we will be studying about Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, Jung's theory of individualism, Erickson's stages of life, Peck's expansion of Erickson's theory, selective optimization with compensation. Here you might be already came across Maslow's hierarchy, Erickson's stages of life and all. We are not going in detail and all. The question will be coming theories of aging as such. So you have to write all these theories in a comprised way. So starting with Maslow's hierarchy, this hierarchy is there is an internal hierarchy which is been arranged like a pyramid. So try to draw a pyramid and write the needs in that which is been written. So it is been developed in the year 1954. So each individual has an innate internal hierarchy of needs that motivates all human behaviors. So in that it is been written the physiological needs, the safety and sexuality needs, love and belongingness, self-esteem as well as self-actualization. Not going into detail because this has already been discussed in previous classes in previous years. So that is Maslow's hierarchy. Next one is Jung's theory. It's formulated by Carl Jung in the year 1960. So origins are Freudian. Freudian means the followers of Sigmund Freud, or those who are using the methods of Sigmund Freud. So basically this Jung has been used the methods of Freudian. That's why it is telling that origins are Freudian. Freudian means followers or those who are using the methods of Sigmund Freud. So here the self-realization is a goal of personality development. So as individual ages, each individual is capable of transforming into a more spiritual being. So that is the thing which is being informed is telling by the Jung's theory. It's about self-realization. So individual is capable of transforming into a more spiritual being. Next one is Erickson's theory. So Erickson is also telling that aging was normal course of life. Aged person either gain acceptance of the life or he will reject the life, and it will leads to anger as well as despair. So aged person either gain acceptance of his life and maintains integrity, or fails to gain this acceptance and experience anger or despair. So there is Erickson's developmental stage, 8 stages. So what are the 8 stages? Try to write in your notes the 8 stages of Erickson's developmental stage. You have to draw column, the stage, the name of the stage, the age group involved, or the task in each age. So here in these stages, only the last 2 stages we will be using in this chapter, old age, or highlighting middle adulthood as well as older adulthood. So middle adulthood, 40 to 65 years, mainly generativity versus stagnation. Older adulthood, mainly concentrating on integrity versus despair. In this, more than 65 years of age group is considered. So in generativity versus stagnation, you know that what it means. Mainly, the person will be reaching out to others in many ways so that they can give guidance to the next generation, or they can show some commitment. But what happens in stagnation? Sometimes that same person can be have a self-centered, self-absorbed kind of characteristics, and there is no interest in young people or giving guidance to the next generation. So anything can be happen based on the person. Generativity versus stagnation. But regarding the integrity versus despair, integrity, the person will be having a positive attitude even towards the death. He can accept the condition. But here, the despair, what the person will not be able to accept what is happening in his life, and it will leads to the regret will happen as well, and the person will be regret, and also it will leads to frustration. So that is about Erickson's developmental stages. Next one is Peck's developmental task of aging. So this theory is also formulated based on the Erickson's last two stages, and this last two stages has been expanded to seven. And out of these seven stages, the final three has been involved into the old age group. The final three were what? Ego differentiation versus work role preoccupation, body transcendence versus body preoccupation, ego transcendence versus ego preoccupation. So in ego differentiation as versus work role preoccupation, here the old age person can think about what he is going to do after the retirement, and he can find ways which worth doing. He just don't wanted to limit himself in a role such as grandparent as well as a gardener. So that can be happening in this stage, ego differentiation versus work role preoccupation. And regarding the body transcendence versus body preoccupation, body mean by transcendence, transcendence means existence. Otherwise, it is also mean experience which beyond the normal. So we know that when the person is getting age, the body will be changing also, and even the health will go down. So the person will should be able to cope up with these changes. Beyond those, the person should cope up with the situation beyond those physical changes which is happening in the body. That is body transcendence as well as body preoccupation. And finally, about the ego transcendence versus ego preoccupation. So here, the accepting that the persons can accepting that life is finite by finding ways to contribute to the future generation. If the people in late adulthood these as the contributions, they will experience ego transcendence. Otherwise, if they are not experiencing these contributions, they may become preoccupied with the question whether their life had any worth or value to the society. Clear? So here you can see acceptance in life. That is, they are accepting the life is finite by findings ways to contribute to the future generation, something contribute something to the future generations. If they are finding these contributions, they will experience ego transcendence. Otherwise, they will question themselves, what is the use, why they are living in this society. That's all. And finally, the final theory is selective optimization with compensation. This has been formulated by Baltus in 1981. Here, he is telling that the individual develops strategies to manage losses of function. Over the time, they will be making the strategies. Mainly three interesting elements. Selection. Sometimes they will be very selective, so it will lead to restriction in one's life. Sometimes optimization. They will engage in behaviors and it will enrich their lives. And finally, they will compensate. So this will lead to developing suitable as well as alternative adaptation. So that is all about this theories of aging. Thank you.